Greetings and welcome to this repairing thing courtesy of Adventure Link. That's me! And in tonight's repair video, we're going to do an oil change on a 2005 Hyundai Santa Fe with the 3.5 liter V6 engine. This should apply to pretty much all first generation Hyundai Santa Fe's as a whole with the 3.5 liter V6 engine. And before I get started, I want to say if it will be, is or was your birthday, then congratulations, happy birthday. Make it a good one. Also appreciate your supporting of me and my channel, be it watching this video and other videos I got on YouTube, as well as sharing them with your friends, family, embedding your websites, or in this case, sharing them with other fellow Hyundai Santa Fe owners from the first generation as a whole. Rate, comment, subscribe. It tells YouTube myself if I'm doing a good job or not. Your comments and rates also help spread it around YouTube and other search engines. Subscribe, you can see new videos in your YouTube newsfeed on YouTube, as well as in the weekly YouTube emails. Hit the bell button and you can see any new videos I throw up on YouTube. Last but not least, you can donate to my medical bills. I do appreciate it. The links will be in the video description. Any amount helps out, and as Gaines from the Grave would say, it helps to keep this channel, and myself of course, alive and undead. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is of course get your front end of your vehicle up in the air, like I'm using ramps with blocks behind it. If you're using jack stands and a jack, I would also advise you use these same blocks. You can also use a lift, vehicle lift, like a drive-on lift, or the ones, where you put the arms, like two of the arms here, one here, then you do the same thing on the other side. Either way, once you get it up in the air, make sure your vehicle's squared and secured, because safety counts on my channel. I care about your safety. I don't want to see people getting hurt from following my videos. We're not like that. Next thing you want to do is you want to take a 17mm socket with the 1/2 inch drive ratchet on there, line it on the bolt, then undo it like so. Undo it slowly and carefully. You may also want to position your catch pan in such a way where it's going to catch all the oil in the middle. Well, of course, you start off slowly. That's already broken loose, so I can just twist this by hand slowly. Be careful, especially if you're dealing with a warm engine, as this could burn you.
Be very careful. Open slowly, slowly, slowly. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Keep going.
Oh, shoot. That's why I said to be careful. Because not only did I have it out of position here, but I think I got a little bit on the ground. Oh, well, nothing a little kitty litter can't fix, eh? Yes. Oil. Right. Wait till it gets full up. When it slows down, you want to put the bolt back on. Good old engine oil. The black gold, as they would say on the Beverly Hillbillies. And while this is draining, I'm going to point your attention to this oil filter here. This is where the oil filter is on the 3.5 V6. As a heads up, if you got the 4-wheel drive / AWD version of this vehicle, there may be a skid plate in your way, so you may have to remove that. Don't ask me how to remove it, because this is the front-wheel drive version only. If I do get my hands on the AWD version, either from a friend, customer, dad, or me buys one or whatever, I'll be sure to update this video and put it in the card somewhere. Alright, so as the oil dripping is starting to slow down, it's starting to tinkle here. This is probably a 5-quart oil catch pan, and this vehicle only has a little over 74,000 miles for 2005. To get almost all the oil like this into a 5-quart pan like this is actually pretty good for a vehicle this old and this low in mileage. Can we say cream puff for the win? Okay, so with the oil drained out, I took the liberty of brake cleaning my drain plug here because it landed in the oil catch can by mistake. Cleaned off my ratchet too. If there ain't a gasket on here, it's a brass gasket. I guess you can reuse it. If you don't have one, it'd be recommended to get one. Personally, I've never used a gasket. Never had a problem with it, but whatever. Some people do it, some people don't. But in any case, you want to start it by hand, prevent cross-threading, because quality matters too. Put your wrench on tighten up. There, that'll do it. She's torqued. It even clicked. So no need to go any farther, unless it starts leaking again. And now for the oil filter. Right, got to get in there with your hand or an oil filter wrench or something, then just screw it off. Right then, oil filter's up here. I got a rag. I guess the rag ain't gonna work. And apparently my big fat hand won't work either. Well, as you can see, I got actually a lot better access. And as you can see the oil pan here. Now you're wondering why I'm seeing this, right? Good question. There's this big guard here with the little access where I get my hand to it, barely in there. I end up taking that guard off. I'll show you the bolts in a minute. But first, you just, right, like I said before, screw it slowly and be careful. There'll be some oil coming out of this filter, slowly dripping out. And this is one of those vertical mounts. So, right, there it is, it's slowly dripping out. So just while it's slowly dripping out there, just slowly, carefully, keep going. Right, just let it drip out moderately. And then when it starts slowing down, you can just take the filter off. And for those of us wondering or playing at home, well, you are playing at home because you're watching this video. There's the guard here. All the way around, you got several bolts. For the most part, I believe these are all half-inch sockets. For the most part, it is half-inch. The only exception is these two are 9/16 down here. Be careful; these bolts can be difficult. So make sure you get your usual tricks: penetrating oil, long cheater bars on your ratchet, use a half-inch drive if you can, all that nonsense. And if there's any corrosion, rusty crusties on the bolt threads, clean them good with a wire wheel. Okay, so upon further review, I actually made a mistake here. There's actually a 9th bolt on this cover. It was just being difficult. Either it was being difficult to remove, or I must have popped it off by mistake like this. Either way, it did have help. It wasn't the helper's fault. It happened. These bolts are rusty, like I said, and it is still kind of chilly, so, the trouble with plastic parts and cold, it snaps. Yeah. So yeah, there's 9 bolts instead of 8. My mistake. And with this thing slowly dripped, this should be drained all the way while I was going over the access panel here. Oh, it's want to drain more. So let's just let it do this. Let it do its thing here. Like I said, you want to keep going slowly, slowly, slowly. Because if you don't do it slowly and get as much of this drained out as you can, it's going to go whoosh, all over the place, and it won't be fun at all. I tend to make my messes a minimum. In spite of Eric the Car Guy going, be safe, have fun, and stay dirty, I try to keep messes to a minimum. Oh, on a side note, it's a Fram filter. Wah, wah, wah. Oh, well, it still ran the last 6,000 miles before its last oil change, so that says something. It'll say an even better something if the structural integrity holds up and does not go into my oil pan, unlike a certain oil filter brand that starts with a D. See, there it is. There's your splash. As I was saying, another oil filter brand that starts with a DW, DriveWorks. Well, as far as I know, this is still stacking up. At least it didn't disintegrate right into the oil pan and fall apart, so that's good. Okay, so as I was saying, this is a Purolator oil filter, part number L14459 for a 3.5 liter V6 Santa Fe. This is what it looks like. No need to unbag anything. And tonight we're using Valvoline Max Life High Mileage Synthetic Blend Oil. I personally don't like using high mileage oil because it has additives in there that, probably might weaken some things out even more. That's the only synthetic blend 5W20 I could find. You might get away with full synthetic. I'm using part synthetic. I believe that's what this takes, is part synthetic at least. But with such a young vehicle like this, honestly, in my opinion, if you run into another cream puff, start it on full synthetic as soon as you can. But like I said, that's what we're going to use. And one tip you can do real quick is you can fill the new oil filter up with good clean oil. That way your filter will be nice and full, and the engine will have to prime the oil filter, and you won't be running on bad oil pressure for like 5 seconds. That'll help alleviate that. And really quickly too, don't forget to take the clean oil and lube around the gasket here. That way it'll be easier to remove in the future when you had to do this again. With our engine oil filter filled up pretty good, now we're going to actually reinstall this onto the car. Or underneath the engine rather. You line it up like this, and turn it around slowly but surely. Right, and with it tightened down, make sure you tighten it slowly, but don't stop. This will keep to want to undo itself. So just keep turning it all the way, hand tighten it, like that. For added measure, you could get a clean rag, put it on here, and then tighten it farther if you please. And the next thing you want to do is locate your engine oil cap. It's right here. Turn it counterclockwise to remove it. I'm in. Yay! Then of course from here, you want to fill it up with nice clean oil. Yeah, make sure you actually aim it inside the engine, nowhere else. Should be able to fill it up like 4 quarts or so, and then you want to check the oil. And then once it's full, you know it's good. Alright? So it looks like we're about a half a quart left. So I'm going to go check my oil now. Okay, and of course, check the oil. You move the oil dipstick carefully. I'm going to clean it off with a rag here, a paper towel. Make sure you're actually aiming on the dipstick, please, for the love of YouTube and all that is holy. Take it, clean it with the rag. I got the rag off camera, but there it is. We got a good clean dipstick. Now dip it in all the way. Shake it around a wee little bit. Pull it out. And as you can see, we're on the F. Both the bubbles are filled up. They're filled up with oil. So we're good to go. Now, of course, from here, you want to take your vehicle off the ramps and all that, or your jack stand, and start it up. And then after that, you get it all started up and the oil flows through. And of course, you want to put your oil cap back on. Don't forget that. Unless you get engine oil plastered all over the top of your hood here. But yeah, like I said, start your engine up, get it off the ramps, jack stands, whatever. Get it on solid, even ground. Let it run, shut it down. Check your oil again. If the two bubbles are not filled up, then keep filling it up until it gets to the two bubbles. Otherwise, you're good to go. And after that, you want to check your workmanship. Other than all the messes that I made because of my uncoordinatedly challenged self right there, and I don't see any leakage under the car, that's it. We're all done. We've just changed the engine oil and filter on a 2005 Hyundai Santa Fe 3.5 liter V6 engine. Though this could apply to any Santa Fe with the 3.5 liter V6 as a whole from the first generation, 2001 through 2006. Well, this was certainly a fun little job, if I don't mind saying. Don't forget, just use your 5W20 oil, check your manual just to be sure. So, of course, with that being said, also, there's some things to be learned here, fellas. First off, ram filters. Although this one seemed to stack up, I personally avoid them all, but we got a good Purelator in there this time. Oh, well, that's what you get for using Walmart oil change centers. And when the actual owner of this car wanted to go to the Walmart oil change center. Oops. Oh, well, at least there's that. Next off, hand tighten the engine oil filters, please. And another thing, unless you want to take off that whole entire cover that we ended up having to take off, get an oil filter wrench, please, for the sake of having an oil wrench, because even with my big fat hands in that little space, I still couldn't get enough grip on there with or without that rag. So yeah, get an oil filter wrench on this car, please. Unless, of course, if you had the 4-wheel drive / all-wheel drive version, then you're pretty much stuck removing that little cover because that's pretty much how it's blocked in there. So yeah. Anyways, that's it for this video. I'm Adventure Link. Thanks again for watching and for the support of this video, me and my channel. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, praise, criticism, well wishes, etc., take them down in the comment section. I know I covered the comment section before, so I'm not going to do it again, but that's where all your questions about this video goes. And speaking of questions, comments, and concerns, if you have any questions about Hyundai Santa Fe's as a whole, you can go to the HyundaiForums.com on the Santa Fe section. Additionally, there's a Hyundai Santa Fe owners group on Facebook. I'll link both the Santa Fe forum and the Santa Fe group on Facebook in the video description. Other than that, as Eric TheCarGuy would say, be safe, have fun, stay dirty. See y'all later. Thanks again for watching. Have a good one.